Okay, this video is going to be about voting, why not to vote, why voting doesn't work, hasn't worked, and will never work, why it doesn't promote individuality and freedom, but rather gives rise to marginalizing people, marginalizing individuality, and giving rise to extremists. Now let's think about this from a common sense point of view. Let's say that we were going to have a vote on your favorite color, okay? Of all the colors of the spectrum. And you know what your favorite color is, okay? And everybody being able to choose their own color that they want is freedom and is individuality. Now let's say, hypothetically, that your favorite color is green, okay? And you know this because you just know that that's your favorite color. And now you're forced to vote on your favorite color. And once you place your vote and the votes are all tallied up, you find out that your favorite color didn't get the majority of votes. Now, does it really matter if you got the majority of votes or not? Because you already know for yourself that green is your favorite color. So now your color has been discarded, tossed out of the mix. And let's say every time that we had this vote, the colors with the least amounts of votes started getting plucked off, getting kicked out for the next time around. And then we have another vote, and say the color orange is kicked out of the mix. And then the color purple is tossed out of the mix. And the ones that keep on getting the majority, or the most votes, end up being blue and red. And while the majority of people probably would like those colors, it doesn't necessarily mean that all of the people like those colors. And it's not their favorite color by any means. So eventually, all of the other colors are tossed aside and they don't get to speak the next time the vote comes around because they have been marginalized. And now we are just left with these two colors, blue and red. And these are extreme ends of the spectrum. And now you will have people on each side screaming, "No, my color is better than your color. Red is better than blue. No, blue is better than red." And it gives rise to extremists. And everybody else has been marginalized and their voices not heard of what they actually wanted. And we see this. This is a reality, folks. We see these rise of extremists on each side of any political party, the Democrats or the Republicans. And this is not freedom of choice. This is not individuality. This is a process that will discard your vote of what you truly want. And so we should not be surprised to see more and more extreme rhetoric, propaganda from each side claiming why they are the right ones, why the others are not for you. And this doesn't bring up freedom of choice at all. This is not liberty. This is not freedom. You shouldn't be forced to be put into a system. Think of it as just a pendulum going back and forth. And every time that pendulum comes around, it just kicks out the other colors and builds rise to these extreme parties. Now, if we were really concerned about freedom and individuality, we would not be doing this to ourselves. Everybody would know right from the get-go what their own personal preferences are. And why you don't need a majority of people to agree with you. You don't need a majority of people to agree with you. Period. Because that doesn't mean individuality. Let's say your favorite color was brown. Do you think you would ever get a majority of people to agree that that was their favorite color? I doubt it. But it wouldn't mean that it wasn't true for that one person or a group of people. And so I've been saying this for years, that we must end voting. It doesn't work. It marginalizes people. It gives rise to these extremists. And you don't need a majority of votes to know what you want for yourself. Why would you ever need a majority of people to agree that that was their favorite thing? It doesn't make any sense to do it like that. And so we know what real freedom is and real individuality is that you don't need anybody's permission to live the way that you want to live.